Hi, I'm Mark Levy, the Sourdough Simpleton. Today I'd like to talk to you about chocolate. Well, not any chocolate, but specifically cocoa, unsweetened cocoa in powder form. We use that so much in baking, whether it's in cookies or cakes or pies or icing or whatever, candy certainly. But the point is there are basically two kinds of chocolate out there, and it's important that you know the difference. In front of me are two jars or tubs of Hershey chocolate. And I would say to you, what's the difference? You're going to say, well, this one's bigger than this one. Okay, that's true. But the bottom line is this one, the bigger one, is natural cocoa. That's cocoa that's been produced by crushing and drying out the cocoa beans after fermenting and extracting the powder form of cocoa. It's unsweetened, it's a strong chocolate flavor, and it's certainly used almost everywhere. But the other one, which is they call special, but really it's Dutch processed cocoa. And that is the key to a lot of recipes. So Dutch processing involves using an alkali, which could be washing soda, sodium carbonate, potassium carbonate, even lye, which is sodium hydroxide, to extract and de-acidify the cocoa. This process was figured out about 200 years ago, and it results in a cocoa which is darker, and the more alkali you use, the darker and more deeper the chocolate gets. And the other thing which it does is it removes the acidity from the chocolate. Now that's important because if you're baking a cake or anything which has to rise, oftentimes the acidity in the chocolate is used against a leavening agent like sodium bicarbonate or baking soda to produce the gas that makes the cake rise. Well, if you use Dutch chocolate, it has been neutralized. Its pH is neutral. It's neither acid nor alkaline because it's been treated, and therefore the sodium bicarbonate will not activate, therefore the cake will not rise. So you have to use something different like baking powder, which has an acidifying and alkalizing agent together to make the bubbles. But the taste of Dutch processed cocoa is much stronger. You can take a look, the color of Dutch cocoa is darker than the color of the regular cocoa, and that helps us to differentiate them. If you're using it in, say, an icing or a candy, or my personally favorite hot fudge, the Dutch cocoa is by far superior. You can use the regular cocoa, but it just won't have the intense flavor. Lots of brands out there of Dutch cocoa, lots of brands out there of regular cocoa, but the bottom line is pick the one you like, but be aware of the difference between natural cocoa and Dutch processed cocoa. That's all for today. We'll see you next time right here on the Sourdough Simpleton.